Sam Vitale, and this is The Sam Show. Today we will be discussing the book The Glass Castle, written by Jeanette Walls. Today Jeanette and her family are here to tell us about their lives growing up. Our first guest today is Jeanette Walls. Hello, Jeanette.
Hello, Sam. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what life was like for you and your brothers and sisters growing up?
Well, it was really hard. You see, we are always on the move and we just never stayed in one place very long. It was just so difficult.
Why is that?
Well, my mom and dad didn't think it was right just to stay in one place for a long time. They liked to be on the move, and us kids really knew why. It's because people were always chasing after my dad because he owed them money.
Yeah, so it says in your book that your family was always in debt.
Yeah, we were, because my dad always had odd little jobs, but never one set, fixed job. And my mom started teaching for a while, but that didn't last.
And what do you do for a living today?
I work in the newspaper, I write and I edit. I just do all of it.
How did you end up getting enough money to go move out on your own and start a business?
Okay, well, that's a really funny story. I raised enough money and then I just moved to New York one day. I just knew I had to get out of that troubled family. And then soon after, my sister, after she graduated, she had enough money to come live with me. So that helped. And then my brother soon after and my other sister had enough money and we were all living in New York.
Whatever happened to your parents after that?
Well, they stayed behind in Arizona for a while, but after that, they came to live in New York, but they never wanted to live in a house. Even though I offered them money, they just wanted to live on the streets.
So today they're still living on the streets?
Well, funny you should ask. My dad did just die of cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, we have your mother here with us today, and after this commercial break, we will be interviewing her to see what her life was like from her perspective. Our next guest today will be Jeanette's mother, Mrs. Walls. Please help me to welcome her.
Peace, Sam.
Hello, Mrs. Walls. Okay, so would you like to tell us about your life raising your 3 children and living with your husband?
Well, first of all, I let my children do whatever they want. I didn't believe in discipline. And most of all, I hated hospitals.
Why'd you hate hospitals?
Well, parents are always bringing their kids there for the stupidest reasons, and I didn't think it was just necessary.
So even if it was a desperate emergency, like one of your children being caught on fire or gushing blood, you wouldn't take them to the hospital?
Well, funny you should say it. When my daughter Jeanette once caught on fire when she was cooking hot dogs, and she should have known better, but she was 3 years old. Who doesn't know how to cook hot dog? But she caught on fire and got, I guess, severe burns, so we had to take her to the hospital for that.
Jeanette told us before that your husband was an alcoholic. Did you approve of this? Did it bother you?
Well, I never really wanted to say anything to him. He was kind of always above me, but deep down it always did upset me. And then towards the end of when we were living in Phoenix, it just kept getting worse and worse until it reached the level of physical abuse.
Over the commercial break, we got a list of questions from the audience. Okay, so this is from Jamie from Minnesota. Are there certain people in your life that influenced you and just kept you motivated and keep going even when you guys knew that times were really hard?
Well, I'm going to have to say my brother. He kind of acted as my catalyst, you may say. He always just kept pushing me and told me that I was a successful person and I could be better than what I was if I just pushed myself. And he was the one who influenced me to move to New York.
Today, what is your brother currently doing?
He's a police officer and he's very well and good at his job.
Yes, we are very disappointed, but he could not be with us today.
No, he's just so busy. It's just a bad time of the year.
Okay. What factors do you believe made you the person that you are today?
And I'm definitely going to have to say is my father's drinking. His drinking showed me what I didn't want to become. he was a wonderful man when he was sober, but when he was drunk, he was just horrible, and it showed me what I never want to become.
Okay, this next question is from Robert from San Francisco. Do you agree with the parenting skills that your parents showed, like free-spirited, let you do whatever you want? When you have kids, will you act the same way, or will you go the complete opposite direction?
Well, I could see some of the bases they were coming up with, but I probably would definitely change the way that I raise my children. I love my parents to death, but their just parenting skills weren't that great. Like, I would definitely have some rules, and the hospital is a very important place to bring your children, just even if it's not that serious of an injury.
Oh, looks like we have a question for me. This is from Katie from New York. Sam, do you relate with Jeanette's life in any way? What are similarities and differences between your childhoods? Well, actually, I do relate with you and your family because my dad also was an alcoholic when I was growing up. And yeah, it was very hard. We always lived in the same spot, but he actually did go to jail for a couple of years, which isn't exactly like your father, but it's just similar.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you for coming on our show today.
It's
It was
nice meeting you,
nice
Sam.
meeting. Dad came home in the middle of the night a few months later and roused us all from bed. Time to pull up the stakes and leave this dump behind, he hollered. We had 15 minutes to gather whatever we needed and pile into the car. Is everything okay, Dad? I asked. Is someone after us? Don't you worry, Dad said. You leave that to me. Don't I always take care of you? Of course you do, I said. That's my girl, Dad said with a hug, then barked orders at us all to speed things up. We only took the essentials. A big black cast iron skillet and the Dutch oven, some army surplus tin plates, a few knives, his pistol, and Mom's archery set, and we were finally on the move. Glass Castle is a truly astonishing story about the intense love of a peculiar but loyal family. Jeanette Walls has a story to tell in this book, and she tells it brilliantly. Currently, Jeanette lives in Virginia and is married to the writer John Taylor. She is a regular contributor to MSNBC. The Glass Castle has also won the 2005 Elle Readers Prize and the 2006 American Library Association Alex Award. Thank you again to all of our guests today, and join us next week on The Sam Show.
Did you feel